I just had a question for you. So I don't know if you heard about Eric Church canceling his show for the playoffs this weekend so that he could go. It kind of seems like he was letting his fans down. What do you think?
Yes, he is.
Definitely is.
Yes, he is. Now, that being said, let's talk through this for a second. Because he canceled the show, which is so weird to me that he didn't postpone the show, but it's canceled. Like, that to me is the thing that I'd really be irritated by. I was thinking about, in my life, there are only a few things that I would go, hey, I can't do the show. Let's take sickness out, because if you just can't perform, you can't perform.
Right.
And I would, if Arkansas were in the Final Four or in like the college football playoff, I would postpone a show. Somebody dying, somebody being sick, and that. Those are the only three things I would move a show for. But I would move the show.
The birth of a baby.
That's a good one.
Would
Yeah,
you? Would you?
But I wouldn't. I don't think I would schedule it.
Okay.
I guess that maybe I wouldn't. I don't know.
I'm just saying, your wife's in labor.
You can almost predict-ish a birth.
For the most part.
Death, not so much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
So, Eric Church, I have the show in San Antonio, but then North Carolina makes it to the Final Four. And he sends a note out, and you got to give him credit. He's like, hey, it's the most selfish thing I've ever asked the choir to do. I'm going to go to the game.
So canceling means everybody gets full refund, and they just have to wait to see Eric at some other time.
Canceling means they'll get a refund on tickets, but he's not going back there.
I know, that's what I mean. Like, they're going to have to
go
figure out
somewhere
seeing
else.
Eric elsewhere.
And people that bought flights.
Yeah.
And most people... what? What are you doing that
Well,
noise
I don't
for?
know, because I feel like because this is for a basketball game, like it's...
No. Most people that go to a place in like an arena in San Antonio live nearish by. Some are traveling, but I would say 90% of them are driving there.
Sure.
There are some like, I bought flights, but for the most part, it's not a Vegas residency like Adele where people are flying out there.
Okay, good point. That's what I was going to reference, but you're right.
So when people are going, well, we bought flights. Yes, that's terrible for you. But most people at a show in San Antonio or Dayton, Ohio, or just people driving in, a couple that fly. But yes, it is terribly selfish, but he admits to that. He could have just said, got COVID. Problem is, when he shows up at the game with a fake mustache on, you're like, hey, there's Derek Church. Yes, incredibly selfish, but he says that. He's a massive North Carolina fan. I think it's also a family thing. I think it's also the fact that they're playing Duke. I think it's also the fact that Coach K is retiring, and he hopes they can retire Coach K. There's just a lot to it. But yes, is he letting his fans down? Absolutely. But I think he's okay with dealing with those repercussions this time. He's been someone who's given so much to the fans.
I mean, yeah. And have you ever been to an Eric Church concert?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't know a lot of the songs. I only know the radio songs.
He does
and
a
he'll
lot
do
of
like 2
B-sides.
hours of songs I think he just wrote before he walked on stage. And I'm like, I don't know what he's singing here.
Never heard
Right, but
this
if
one.
you look around, every fan is standing up, singing every single
Yeah.
word to every single song, and they are very committed. So I assume most of them will probably be like, "Oh, okay, Eric, we
I
love
assume
you."
it'd be the opposite. Like,
Oh,
we're so
really?
committed to you, and you're going to bail on us for a basketball game?
So they drop him?
I
forever?
don't see that.
They're all like, we're going to Luke Combs.
We're done with
They
church.
transfer
They
their
all leave the
loyalty.
church choir and go to Combs. The only part that I struggle with is him not rescheduling a show there, or at least going, we're going to do a show here at some point. I'm very sorry.
Like,
Yeah.
I'll make it up to you.
And he may.
Yeah, he might.
But right now, that hasn't happened.
He didn't have time to think about that. He's got to think about the game.
Yeah, he's got to run some plays on his head.
He's got to focus on the game.
I don't hate it. I can't hate it because I would do it similarly only in those circumstances. Death, Arkansas sports, sick. In that
Wow.
order.
Perfect.
Okay.
But only the big games. And I'm saying that now, so when I do that, you guys are like, classic. But I would also postpone. I would not just cancel. But yes, do I think he's letting people down? Absolutely. Does he know that? Yes.
Oh, so he
Gotta love honesty at least.
Yeah, and he has enough money to where could he do it where people submit their flights if they bought it before he canceled and he pays them back?
No.
Oh, that'd be nice.
And most of these, they can probably, even on the few that people bought, you can probably, in some of them, get refunds.
You call the airline and be like, I was scheduled to go to Eric Church and he canceled because of the basketball game. And they're like, okay.
We get it.
We heard that on the Bobby Bones show. Okay, so Eric Church is not going to have a show. That stinks. There'll be small fallout, but very small. And then those people will even get over it. People get over everything now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Good.
So Oh, I get it though. I'm jealous he even gets to go. Arkansas was one game away from it. I was gonna leave you jabronis here. I was just gonna go to the game. So that's the Eric Church story. I was seeing some of the national media pick up on that too. It's a big enough story where they're like, this artist had a arena, and it's like, I'm gonna go to the basketball game. It also has to make the North Carolina people feel like that's our guy even more. Like, I want to schedule something that doesn't even really exist, and I'm like, yeah, I was actually gonna do a whole concert in New York at the Kennedy Center, but you know what? I'm gonna come back to go to Arkansas baseball game.
The biggest concert ever.
Yeah. All right, so there's that. Thank you. I don't need any more calls about this because people are fired up. I mean, I have people from San Antonio that are just all over the phone.
They're mad?
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Wow.
Yeah.
They should have a voice in this.
Well, they do. The news story. They have enough.
I feel bad for them. I do.
You do?
They have enough.
Yes, because I don't understand basketball. Like, I wouldn't.
I feel
skip
bad for them
something
too. They've waited a whole year for this
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
It's just like us calling in sick for something, Except, unfortunately for him, though, it affects a lot of people.
People don't buy tickets for most people's jobs.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Like the librarian can go to the game. Yeah.
Ryan Hurd, Chasing After You, Bobby Bones Show. Thank you guys.
It's a Bobby Bones Show.